Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam L, and this is Talk with the Titans. Tonight's show, we're going to be discussing the Evolution Conference, and we're also going to be going into the conscious community, what's been happening. There's been a lot of, energy, passion going on, beefs even transpiring. So we're going to go into all of those types of information today on tonight's show. So I'm going to apologize to everybody who's tuned into the last show. Unfortunately, it cut out, but we're back here again. So you know what? Let me introduce. We got some members of the Evolution Conference who was there, and those who weren't able to make it onto the actual conference live. So first of all, we've got Uncle Kek from the Amon Ra squad. We've got Amon Ra squad members strong in here. So you know what? King of New York, peace to you, family.
Hey man, Black African Power, man. What's good? What's happening? Well organized live, man.
Defeats a disorganized truth every time.
Yeah.
Ooh, we
had that truth organized up in there, man. So like we always said, man, we realize that the community really has to take their time and really get adjusted to what real science is. The last 25 years, we had teachers that taught pseudoscience and new world information, and I'll be coming out with that, showing where everybody information come from, New Age section, the Barnes and Nobles, all day long. So at the conference, man, with real scientific information, lot of work put in, lot of information, brought forward. Brother Ngozi, Team Osiris, man, those young brothers, man, they really, had it going. And like I said, Brother Saw had the best presentation because he allowed me to teach about evolution. He clearly proved that one, Africans themselves said that we came from other biological organisms, right, that weren't human. Two, that the Africans are the originators of evolution, and we have the signs and symbols to prove it. Three, right, that the sisterhood is the beginners and authors of science, right? And so we just wanted everybody to know that modern science is true African spirituality. And can't nobody get around that. You know why, Kalam? Because we're not teaching anything new. We're adding to the scholarship, and we're standing on the shoulders of giants. And so we're looking at the rest of the crowd and trying to figure out, well, whose shoulders are you standing on? So whenever I get in a discussion, I will ask a person, whose shoulders are you standing on? It's a hell of a question, Doug. And watch him dance and watch him get down, yo. Watch. All right?
Ow. Wow. Okay, I love this. This is the energy that I love coming from my brother Ark. You know what? We've also got our brothers from the UK here. We've got our brother Isa, Isa from the UK, representing Islam. We've also got our brother Virtue TV. Peace to you, my brother. My brother Virtue. We've also got our brother, the mad scientist himself. You know what? I don't think you'll understand how the UK feels about this brother. This brother called Ngozi, the mad scientist. You know what? A couple of my friends, they said, you know what? If Ngozi's not on, I'm not watching the conference. So you know what, Ngozi? Peace to you. My brother Ngozi, you there? All right, everybody's mics is muted at the moment. So, let's get it in, actually. Let's get it in. I want an overview of what transpired during the Evolution Conference today. So I want my brother Basim to just jump in and let me know, how did the Evolution Conference go?
Sure thing, Kalam. Let me start by saying peace to you, everybody that joined us here today as panelists, and everybody watching on YouTube. And as everybody's pretty much aware of by now, August 2nd was a Sunday. There was a Evolution Conference put on in New York City. It was a Saneter House of Consciousness event, and it was entitled the Evolution Conference. And the participants included Dr. Ali Muhammad, Brother Uncle Ket Nassar Emotep from the Amon Ra squad. Brother Ngozi was scheduled. He was definitely there in spirit, and his information was definitely in the building that day. You also have Born Mastermind Allah. I believe he's a 5%er, Nation of Gods and Earth. You also had Polite of New Covenant, Minister Inky, who I believe lately has joined New Covenant. He's gone on record to say that. You had Imam Bashir, his Lions of Allah. You also had KT the Arch Degree. For anybody that's not familiar with him, he's a Moor. He's actually the younger brother of Red Pill and Blue Pill. They go by the Twin Pillars. And then last but not least, you had Brother Reggie. And like I mentioned, it was the Evolution Conference, and it dealt with evolution versus creation and science and mythology. But that sums up the participants, Kalam. Thank you.
Wow, it seems like it's a star-studded panel that was involved in the Evolution Conference. So many different ideologies. It must have been really crazy inside of the building. I'm even hearing that somebody even came out dressed in the Batman cape and it was going in hard. So I want to know, please, everybody who's out there and you watched the Evolution Conference, I want you to let me know, how did it go? Who was your favorite? Who kicked the most science and who kicked the most pseudo-science? All right. Please let me know in the comment section down below. As well, if you are a UK viewer viewing in for the first time or just coming in, you know what, we've got a telephone number that you can ring in. You can ring in my number. It's actually down below right here. You should be able to see it, I believe just there, which is my number, 07939057280. So if you've got anything that you want to say, you can ring up and we'll put you on live on air as well. If you want to send me a text message as well, I'll read it out live on air as well. As well, if you're new to the whole Talk with the Titans, Talk with the Titans was birthed out the idea that the intellectual giants should have a well-organized platform to present, discuss, and debate critical information affecting our community, proposed by you, our audience members, our community. In that being said, Talk with the Titans has 3 rules. Rule number 1 is we don't allow any profanity on the show, so please no swearing from our panel members and our audience members who's going to be calling in. Second rule is keep your mics muted at all times and respect another person's cipher. And 3, yeah, just have respect for our panel members. So we're going in right now. I can see a lot of brothers are trying to call in right now. We're going to get it in first, and then you just call in. So, please let me know, who was your favorite? I'm going to throw it out right now. Who was your favorite and why? Listen to the panel members listening right now. Who was your favorite and why? And I'm going to open that up to my brother, Zadok bin Israel. Zadok, if you're there.
Yes.
Shalom, brother.
Hello. Hey, peace. I'm kind of new to the fray. Unfortunately, I didn't get to listen in to the conference, but I'm familiar with some of the gentlemen and past works that they have been a part of, and they all have different strengths and weaknesses as well. So I'm just interested tonight to hear more on what the outcome was, because I definitely believe in creation, and it sounds like that some of the brothers who were dealing with evolution came with some science, man, that need to be heard. So that's what I'm here for, brother. Thanks.
All right. Great stuff, great stuff. So we've got some new members who are joining us, and if you want to join us as well, you've been watching for a while, hit up our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is Talk with the Titans. We have a whole array of Titans. We've got Asim Hotep, who's literally just joined us now, who went through his slides yesterday, which was really interesting on the Evolution Conference. So I'm going to welcome him real quickly. So, Brother Asim Hotep, if you're available to speak right now. Hotep.
Peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right. I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me on the panel. I don't know when y'all exactly started, but so I don't know what has been said this far, but I'm just listening, and I contribute what I can, when you need me.
Definitely. And if you haven't already checked out Asim Hotep's presentation, he did a second one on his channel. For those who missed it, He done a live presentation of his slides, and I believe there was a question and answers afterwards yesterday. So please visit his channel. It's called Asar Imhotep, ASAR Imhotep, IMHOTEP, and check out his very last video. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it, like as I enjoyed it. I was on the panel. It was really intriguing. You know what? The diagrams breaking down pseudoscience versus real science, and how scientists come up with their conclusions rather than having a already made up mind conclusion, and trying to find evidence to justify the reason why they think there's certain thoughts. You know what? This was so interesting. So please check out my brother Asai Mahotep's channel, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. So you know what? Konsu, are you there, my brother? Konsu. Okay. So I'm going to open it up then to Shesmu. Shesmu, are you there?
Peace and black power. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud.
All right. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go to the conference. Was planning on it, and I didn't actually dial into the time zone. But from what I did watch, that was slowly processed out by Saneter and by Brother Unc and Asar. Not to be biased, but I would have to say Asar and Brother Unc put on the best presentation. And I'm not going for the glitz and the glamour with the Dracula cape. I enjoy the pseudoism because it's entertaining. And when you take me out in space, I can relate. I like being the melanin and the ultimate black and the creator and all that. So that vibrates with my spirit, my soul. But when it comes down to the science and reality, I got to give it hands down to the Amara Squad.
Ooh, okay. So I've been hearing this a lot, that the Amun-Ra squad really represented, was really thorough with the science and breaking things down. So let me open this up then. Let me open this up. I don't know if Ankh is ready to speak or my brother Ngozi is ready to speak. But
I'm right here, bro. I'm right here. What you got?
No, I want a taster. I want a taster of the presentation that you delivered on the Evolution Conference.
All right, watch this.
Whoo!
Listen.
Is this a world exclusive right here?
Let's do this for a minute, right? Like I said, the best presentation by far, right, was Brother Asar. Okay? And the reason I voted to be the best, right, because I was able to sit there and learn something. Okay? He came straight. He proved that, first of all, like I said, that the Africans, different Africans now, right, said that we evolved from other organisms that were non-human. He proved that. He proved that the Africans were teaching evolution prior to any European, Muslim, Christian, or Jews. Okay? He proved all these things. He allowed me to have the freedom to present the information that me and the brother Ngozi had put together. Okay? So, hey, man, at the end of the day, by the time I got up there, I could throw a couple jokes in. I could do this. And I only presented like half my presentation. I was allowed to introduce key checkmate points that no one could get around. It was the DNA evidence they couldn't get around. You know what I'm saying? Based off of, my brother Ngozi. You know what I mean? Give me the know-how to get that down, right? I also introduced the toolkit gene. Okay? It was some factors that no one will address and they can't address. So I had the thermonuclear weapon, right? Assault came in, he smashed him, cleared the field. All I had to do was do what I did. I mean, thank God. And I don't believe in God, but thank God Ngozi wasn't there. Ngozi did the African thing. He was with the babies. That conference means absolutely nothing when it stopped you from being with your babies. All right? So he did what he's supposed to do, right? And they're out of order for playing that card. Okay? So it wasn't like he wasn't invited, and it wasn't like his plane ticket wasn't already bought, because it was. But family first on the Amara squad and Team Osiris. But I'm telling you, man, I had a chance to throw a couple shots back because they wasn't even supposed to throw shots, but they did. So I threw a couple frames in there real quick. You feel me? And at the end of the day, right, us that are intelligent will relook at their presentations, because this is when it really counts. Go back, look at the presentations. You'll understand that none of them had cohesive thoughts. They tried to use a lot of big words. They went over people's head, right? There was nothing constructed. We don't even know what direction they was going in. Some was dealing with the blood. Some was dealing with this. And everybody tried to use Kepler. Wow. Remember when I started the Real Black Atheist 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, remember my website has the dung beetle on it, and everybody thought I was crazy. Remember them days, Kalam? Everybody thought I was crazy and was making it up. Now everybody has submitted to that, right? So come on, man. You know the presentations was. It was tight and on point. And if you want me to show you something from my presentation, I most certainly can. You want me to throw something in there real quick, Kalam?
Please do. Please do.
Right.
Please
this
do.
What I want to show you. All right, watch this. Let me see. 1 second. This is an important part of the presentation, right? You're talking about the part about whose shoulders are you standing on, right? All right. This is the best part of the presentation. We're going to go down. We're going to do it like this, yo. I'm going to start it right here. Start right. We'll do it like this. Let me get back over here and let me share my screen. All right. This is shit they can't get around, right? This is also for people in the community that use certain words and don't know what they're using, right? Watch this. Come on. Let me share my screen. All right. Let me show you how we really get down around here, yo. Let me show you why we are what we are. All right. All right. Y'all see the screen? Can y'all see that?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, so what you're looking at here, right, is Australopithecus, correct? The Amara squad and scientists around the world use this. Okay, now I'm showing you for a reason. It says in Ethiopia, right, it is also known as Degnesh, which means you are marvelous in the Amharic language. Have you ever heard anybody use the term Degnesh?
Ganesh, yes.
Yeah, you hear Dr. Ben use it, you hear the General Seti use it, you hear a lot of people use it, but most people use it and don't know what the hell they talking about. Because Degnesh, and I'm pretty sure Ngozi will explain it later on, yo, is, you know what I'm saying, she's not an anatomically correct human. By AMH, she is not. So if you're using Degnesh, then you are in agreement with evolution. Easy. Go to the next one. We know who this is, right?
That's right. That's our great ancestor.
Right. Dr. Bren, he taught Kepler, or he taught evolution. So I'm standing on the shoulders of the great Dr. Ben when I teach evolution. Let me prove my point. In this book called Africa, the Mother of Western Civilization, this is Dr. Ben's work. And in this study of evolution, I found out that most people hadn't even read this work. Right? You're fighting against me, but you're really fighting against the work of Dr. Ben. Here you go, Dr. Ben right here. This is a chronology. So I don't have to go to the European for a chronology chart. I can go to Dr. Ben's work. On page 31 of that book, it says, from Zinthopithecus boise to present. So once again, right, Dr. Ben is proving that Africa is the mother and father of humanity by giving you Zinthopithecus boise. And he says, 1,500,000 years BCE to 1981. All right? So he's extending humanity and he's showing you what it is. Dr. Ben's work. Here you go again. This is a partial chronological listing dating fossils. Now, Dr. Ben was primarily wasn't worried about the fossils. He was worried about the way they named the fossils. Right? It says European and European Americans have consistently renamed Africans and things Africans what they feel they should be named, okay? Always overlooking Africans' reassessment at such tactics. It says this fossil is called Australopithecus transylvanicus. It says by the Europeans and European Americans. It is neither from Australia nor from Transylvania. It says these are the European appendages, not African. So he was more concerned, right, not in the fossils, but the names of Europeans were applying to fossils. And that's why he used the word Degnesh. You look marvelous. Dr. Ben again. They say, well, you're teaching evolution and talking about Darwin, but Dr. Ben would spit on you for talking about Darwin. Let's come to page 48 of his great work. It says, prehistoric ancestors of which this analysis alludes are those spoken of by Sir Charles Darwin, the Victorian scientist of Great Britain, to whom reference has already been made in this chapter. So he makes references to Charles Darwin, not because he's white, but because he's a scientist with testable data that Dr. Ben has looked at and agrees with. So at this point, you either going to deal with the ancestors or you not. You either going to get on the train or get the hell off. See? Here again, he's showing the fossils. Now, what is Dr. Ben concerned about on these fossils? It says a reconstruction of fossils. Reconstruction of Zinthopithecus boise. On page 50, it says, note the racist attempt to make an African fossil appear to be Caucasian or Semitic in origin. It says, why was Zinthopithecus boise not shown with the so-called Negroid characteristics generally attributed to the so-called Bantu, Negro, African, South African, Sahara, and Africa? So see, again, Dr. Ben was more concerned with the fact that they was making the fossils, the reconstruction of it, look European. That's why at the conference I introduced the proper reconstruction of the fossils. Black Man and Now and His Family. Another great work that most people haven't read. Talks about evolution. Here you go. We stand on the shoulders of giants. John Henry Clark, right? He taught evolution because he taught about the origin of humanity. And the only way to prove the origin of humanity is through evolution, because evolution is really the study of African people and their 7 million year trip to this point right here to make this presentation, to never allow the world to forget that we are the mothers and fathers of civilization. Now, to prove my point with John Henry Clark, he wrote the foreword in this white boy's book, Albert Churchwood, Signs and Symbols of Premortal Man, which was definitely talking about the evolution of early man. He also wrote the foreword in this evolutionist book, The Introduction to African Civilization by John G. Jackson. Look, introduction by who? John Henry Clark. We know who John Jackson was. He taught Kepler, and he's all booked up, right? And you already know he's a real black atheist. So I'm following the footsteps of some great men that did not believe in God. Dr. Ben did not believe in God. John Henry Clark did not believe in God. And it's clear. I'm following their footsteps. I'm just brave enough to step out there and say it. They understood the world from an African perspective. And in understanding the world from an active African perspective, right, you understand nature and the role nature plays in the lives of human beings. They understood reality. Watch this. This is very, very important right here. Man, God, and Civilization by John G. Jackson teaches evolution. Look at his first points right here. Here you go. In the first chapter, the early ages of the world. Watch this. The factors and evidence for evolution. No one, for the most part in the community, reads these works, or when they read it, they skip the chapter, man. Right here. I ain't gonna read this whole thing, but this is key right here. In chapter 3, it say the popular opinion that Charles Darwin was the inventor of the doctrine of evolution is false. I'm gonna say it again. The popular opinion that Charles Darwin was the inventor of the doctrine of evolution is false. There were numerous evolutionists, right, prior to Darwin, but with the publication of the Origin of the Species in 1859, Darwin made the theory of evolution intellectually respectable. Now, I ain't got to keep going that. Right here, it clearly shows that he says, watch this, I'm going to move down. This is in Charles Darwin's words, right? He says, it is therefore probable that Africa was formerly inhabited by extinct apes, closely aligned to gorillas and chimpanzees, and as these two species are now man's nearest allies, he doesn't say that they're monkeys, right? It is somewhat more probable that our progenitors lived in Africa continent than elsewhere. This is on page 520, right? In his work, The Descent of Man. So Charles Darwin, white man, is agreeing that the origin of humanity is in Africa. Here you go again. Ifa Ifa, Kilimanjaro, PhD, Indika, Kilimanjaro, and Yahara Aneb, Siba, Volume 1. The book is called Universe to 1896, and they teach Kepler in this monumental work. Guaranteed. These are PhDs, bruh. Educating the black community. As a matter of fact, right, they have their own curriculum. Yeah. Teaching evolution, look at the scholars at the top of the book. Okay? So if you want to prove who we are, you got to study evolution. Here you go. Another giant shows we stand. Dr. Leonard Jeffries. He teaches Kepler. He's an evolutionist. How do I know? Because he brought this man's work forward. Oh, African origin of civilization, myth and reality. Shikandi Diops. You know Diops is an evolutionist. So, Leonard Jeffries understood the value of the African origin of civilization and evolution, right? And he brings this work forward. Brings it from French to English. Here you go. Another Kepler. He teaches evolution. Shikandi Diops. We know him through the Cairo Symposium. Here you go again. Civilization, barbarism, an authentic anthropology. Here you go. Let's go straight to this right here. And this is valuable work right here. This is 1964. Most people don't know about 1964. They know about the 1974 Cairo Symposium when Diops and Theophile Banga came in and splattered the European community. Now watch this. It says in 1964, UNESCO launched an elaboration of the general history of Africa with the view to remedy. See, our people are still stuck right here with the view to remedy the general ignorance on African history. So Kalam and the panel, we're really dealing with an ignorance, right, of African history. And why is it ignorance? Watch this. It says the challenge consisted of reconstructing Africa's history, freeing it from racial prejudices ensuing from slave trade and colonization and promoting an African perspective. So when I'm teaching evolution, and Brother Asar, Brother Ngozi, Brother Smash, you know what I'm saying, and all the brothers on the squad and Team Osiris, we're putting it in an African perspective when we teach evolution. When we talk about Kepler. This is what they did. Just watch this. UNESCO therefore called upon the then utmost African and non-African experts. This is important. You can't have all African experts because then they won't fucking believe you. You gotta add in the rest of the world, right? That way there is no bias. Now watch this. And non-African experts. These experts, right, represented 35 years of collaboration between more than, watch this, 230 historians and other specialists, and was overseen by international scientific community, watch this, which comprised 2/3 Africans. So the scientific community that watched over the project, 2/3 of them were African. So science should always be at the forefront, right, of Africa. Now watch this. Here you go, the preceding symposium held in Cairo from 28 January to 3rd. This is the one that Theophile Banga, Shigani Diop came and finished their ass off using the radiocarbon dating lab and using the melanin in mummies, right, to destroy the competition. This is also Diop's work. The origin of humanity, right, varies between 37,000 and 57,000 BCE. He goes on down here to at least 150,000 years ago. The scholar Omo 1 man and Omo 2 Kilimanjaro man, right? He's talking about evolution. She got the Diops. Same book, Civilization and Barbarism. He's showing you skull, Negro skull, right? Carving. So at this point, John Henry Clark would come back and choke the shit out of us for fighting against the truth. The truth that proves who we are. Here you go, Ivan Van Sertima, another giant shoulders we stand on. And what book did he write? Blacks in Science, Ancient and Modern, edited by Ivan Van Sertima. So science has always been part of the black community. We know who this is. This is Al-Jaheed. He predates Darwin. Darwin studied Arabic and religion, so Darwin would have had to run across his works. It's right here, The Transformation of Species, Al-Jaheed, as later Landmark and Darwin, for example, believes that the transformation of species, right, and mutation is possible. So he's talking about mutation. But let's come down here right quick. He says people said different things about the existence of al Meshik. Now look this up, Kalam, right? The original form of, look at this, quadrupeds. He's talking about apes right here. This word means apes. So Al-Jahid was also talking about that humans would have came from apes, but it gets deeper. Let's keep moving. Here's his book right here, the Book of Animals. All right? Now, this is the shit right here that nobody can't get around. This is the encyclopedia, right, of the Brothers of Purity, the epistles of Ikhwan al-Sufar. These are Sufis. Now watch what they say. They say, that's my reference, the encyclopedia of the Brothers of Purity, right? Now watch this. It says, to date, is therefore considered the highest amongst, talking about the date tree, amongst the trees, and resemble the lowest amongst the animals. It says, then is born the lowest of animals. It evolves into an ape. So watch this. They're saying the date tree, which is the highest, right? Then later on, it evolves into an ape. Now watch this. These are Muslim thinkers now. They say, this is not the statement of Darwin. All right? This is what Al-Malki Siwat, whatever, I can't even say that right. Maybe you can pronounce it, Kalam, states, and this is precisely what is written in the epistles of Ikhwan al-Safar, right? It say the Muslim thinkers state that ape then evolved into a lower kind of barbarian man. He then became a superior human being. Right there, you got Muslim thinkers and scholars in the encyclopedia saying that humans evolved from apes. So that's not a relevant idea. What?
Where is Imam Bashir at this moment in time? Imam Bashir, where are you? You should be calling in right now.
They're all running. They're running and hiding with their head in the sand. That's the hold on. That's the reference. See that? That's the reference, right? So at this point, hush your mouth about Charles Darwin. You don't know what you're talking about. Now watch this. I'm going to finish this off, Kalam. This is why we do what we do. Watch this, Kalam. Charles Darwin, right? Let's go. Now, what is this? Peer-reviewed article. It says Charles Darwin, beetles and phylogenetics. Okay, let's see what they're talking about. This is the abstract. It says Darwin was an enthusiastic beetle collector. Oh, shoot. We see Charles Darwin as an enthusiastic beetle collector? Let's keep going. He used beetles to illustrate different evolutionary phenomena in his major works. I'm going to repeat this. He used beetles to illustrate different evolutionary phenomena in his major works. And astonishingly, an entire subchapter is dedicated to beetles and the descent of man. So since most Negroes in the community have not read his work, they do not know that he used beetles to understand evolution. Watch this. I'm finishing them off. Conclusion. This right here is a classic model organism. Now, let me tell you what a classic model organism is. A classic model organism in science is an organism that they use to explain a natural phenomenon. So what did they use to explain evolution? They used dung beetles. There are over 350,000 species of dung beetles. They have the most a variety out of any species on the planet. And watch this. The classic model organism has permitted dung beetles to emerge as a promising group for investigating developmental evolution in nature. So they're using in science, right, dung beetles to understand evolution in nature. And in the laboratory, in the process studies of dung beetle, Evo Devo and Echo Devo have begun to contribute to many fundamental and long-standing debates in evolutionary biology. So the European, Charles Darwin and the boys, they all use dung beetles to understand evolution. Let's see why. That's all your references right there. And that article is all sourced out. I don't even feel like reading it. There's over 200 references here. Let's keep going. Here you go. Ecology and evolution of the dung beetle. This whole work right here by Wiley Blackwell is about a $150 book. It's all dedicated to why dung beetles help them understand evolution. You can get that on Barnes and Nobles. That's the African symbol. Is that a dung beetle? It surely is. Huh. Dung beetle, is that the symbol of real black atheists? Yes, it is. Is that the symbol of evolution? Yes, it is. Let's see. Let's come to the Howley Dictionary. Let's see if I'm just making it up. Capita, to be, exist, to have being, to subsist, to come into being, to happen, to fashion, to form, to create, to make, to bring into being, to take form of someone or something, to transform oneself, existence, to happen at once, form, manifestation, shape, image. So you see right here, the capita means evolution. The capita is talking about things that evolve. Let's come to West Africa, right? Sha is Shay, Sha, Wuru, Bang. I change or transform my life. The symbol of life, transformation, renewal, and rebirth. So you see in Ghana, the Ndinka cloth symbol, the Akan people of Ghana, right, West Africa, are teaching evolution. And they got the symbol with the two suns inside of each other. Transformation. So I'm not teaching nothing new. I'm just doing that African thing. Here you go again. Another Dinka symbol. It's an amphibian. It's the symbol of adaptation. A mechanism in evolution. The origin and development of forensic medicine and science, right? So when I was bringing forensics, right, I was clearly showing that forensics is also an African thing. Egyptians are the first civilizations to practice removal and extermination of external organs of humans. Their practices range from embalming, faith healing, and surgery, and autopsy. So they understand how the body works, right? And they gave the science of forensics. So when I brought forensics information, I was doing a good old-fashioned African thing. So we talking about the who, the what, the when, the where, and the how. Who? The Arabs, Europeans, and Asiatics. What? Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. When? 570, 500 BCE, and 2,000 years ago. Where? Arabia, Syria, Middle East. How? Does these religions save us? Not no, but hell no. I'll stop it right there, Brother Kalam, right? Let y'all get in some questions and keep it moving. But that's why they couldn't do what they wanted to do to us in there, yo, because we came thoroughly prepared, yo. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even a whole presentation, dog. That ain't even it. That's pieces they didn't see. They in checkmate with that right there, yo. Ain't no getting around that right there, bro. At least you can say, you know what? I might not agree with Unc, but I'll be damned if he ain't teaching the same thing as elders taught. That was my point.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Jeez. You know what? I think the Amon-Ra squad really had this in the bag. Let me know what you think. Did the Amon-Ra squad have this in the bag? You know what? I'm going to try to call in my brother, Divine Prospect. I want to hear what he has to say on this as well. Jeez. You know what? Imam Bashir, where are you, man? I know everybody's kind of complaining at the moment that the phone lines are pretty much jam-packed. I'm going to see what I can do. Just bear with us, bear with us. We're going to open it up. Let me just wait a little while. Let it just cool down. Everybody just simmer in the information that we heard so far. We've also been having our brother Ngozi jumping in and out. Our brother Asayim Hotep jumping in and out as well. We've got our brother Isa, who is here as well. You know what? This is getting crazy.
What's up, man?
Let me get this popping. Let me get this popping. Wow.
Hey, back. What's
All
up?
right. Ngozi, the mad scientist, he's back. Hey, Ngozi, you need to clear some things up, you know. Enki's been, trash talking you, so please, can you jump on and clear everything up for us?
I can't take Enki serious. He's a non-factor to my reality. The reasons why is because Enki doesn't know scientific definitions. He used scientific terms out of context. The whole debate was really garbage. The only two winners that was in there was Amon-Ra squad. Asar Imhotep and Brother Ankh was the only ones that brought information, real information. None of those people was talking about evolution. I heard people talk about background radiation, cosmic background radiation, dark body radiation, cells, Islam. No one talked about evolution. It was all philosophical, and metaphysical. The only people that came there to combat everything and destroyed it, if you have a scientific ear, is Amun-Ra Squad. Now back to Minister Stinky. He's a pseudo. He's upset for, I don't know what his purpose is or problem is with me, his agenda. But this dude, he's been going backwards and forth with me for the last two and a half years right now. You know, Minister Inky, he's not that important, you know, at all. And like I said on the show when I did it with Kansu, he has some type of, I don't know, some type of mental problem, man. I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't hear nothing scientific coming from Inky's mouth. I do hear some scientific things that he used, that he read about, but what I think Minister Stinky's good at doing is mimicking science. He don't really understand what he talks about. Perfect example was when a person tell you that white blood cells is bad for you, and you shouldn't have white blood cells, and anybody that knows biology know that white blood cells or leukocytes is a part of your immune system. Without leukocytes, it's bad. If you have too many leukocytes, that means the immune system starts to attack itself, and it formulates into what we know as leukemia, which is a problem. And if you produce too many red blood cells, it causes blood clots or stiffness to the arteries, and it lacks the CoQ10 because proper oxygen doesn't circulate properly. So what I'm saying is that if a person's running around here saying stupid shit like that, how could he be important to me? Seriously, how could he be important to me? So with that being stated, Minister Inky is just a person that's just ranting. But Amun-Ra Squad did their thing. Asar Imhotep brought the information. Unk brought the information, and that's it. And that was the most important scientific part of that whole lecture. The most important. The most important.
All right. Hold on. Go on, continue. Sorry about it. Continue.
Oh no, brother. I just wanted to say that, man. You know, we can get to the show and start talking about a lot of things that Brother Unk presented, which is factual. You know, we say we love Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben gave reference to Degnesh. You know, he talked about Australopithecus afarensis, which was not Homo sapiens sapien, but a predecessor to the human family. He gave reference to Dr. What we refer to as Darwin. Dr. Clark talked about evolution. You cannot talk about an African story without talking about evolution. Period. The African story is evolution. The human story is evolution. The human story is an African story. I don't care what the human being looks like. You know, black people, or what we call people that descend from Africa or Africans, direct Africans, we don't have low self-esteem to lie like Eurocentric people do. Eurocentricity promotes lies because white people, or what we call white people, a lot of them have low self-esteem, especially the Nordic European. The Nordic European is not the Mediterranean or Southern European that formulated Macedonia, Greece, Rome. You're talking about another specimen of people. And the only time they really come into history is in 429 AD when the Anglos sacked Rome, or when you talk about the Germanic tribes or the Franks. Outside of that, these people are hijacking people's history. So with that being stated, we don't have time or space to do that because we shouldn't have low self-esteem because the human story is an African story, and the African story is an evolution story. That's just the bottom line, yo. That's just what it is. Everything Africans talked about, from ancient Egyptian mythology, all 56 countries, including Madagascar, the islands, or the Canary Islands in the northern part of the Mediterranean, North Africa next to Morocco, all of their stories talk about change. It all talks about the ecosystems around a geographical location. It talks about changing from one stage to the next. As Brother Asar Imhotep presented, Khepera and Ifa is one and the same. The meaning is the same. You know what I'm saying? So you can't talk about Africa without talking about evolution. And that's just a fact. When it comes to biology, when it comes to chemistry, even when it comes to quantum mechanics, you know, about how waves collapse into particles without the observation of consciousness, which is really based on focus, the focused mind. These things were already being talked about in Kemet or in Africa. Nebuchadnezzar, consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, or energy that exists at Planck scale or space-time geometry at zero, when it goes into the quantum or the subatomic or super subatomic reality, is talking about what we refer to as the all in all of consciousness, and it's already been talked about by those people on the continent of Africa. From Oludumare to Nebuchadnezzar, the Ghanayama to Zulu, Kulu Kulu in South Africa, whatever you want to call it. It's all talking about change. So evolution is an African story, and you can see it in our mythologies. I can present right now the Hadza, a hunter-gathering group of Tanzania. The language family that they speak is what Eurocentrics call Khoisan language, the click sound. In their mythology, they talk about coming from hairy monsters or hairy-type archaic groups of humans. You feel me? Ancient Egyptians said that Bes was the oldest of men in certain mythologies. What is Bes? Bes is not a Homo sapiens sapien. He looks a little robust to me or pronatistic to me in a broader scale. You know, look at what they look like. If you match up bust to Homo heidelbergensis and see the depiction of what's being looked at, you be like, damn. You study the ancient Egyptian cosmology. This story is talking about the super subatomic to the atomic to the molecular, and from the molecular to the RNA and DNA, and then when we get into cells. What is molecules? Molecules are a collection of atoms. What is the completion of ancient Egyptian mythology? They said atum represents the complete. When we get into the periodic table and look at all 118 elements that goes through its change, hydrogen, helium, all the different stages, always now to the 118 element. Each stage represents a beautiful phase or change in the atomic structure. Each atomic structure represents the completion of atom. The atom is that's the complete structure of everything that we see. And that's the totalness, and that's atum. Hydrogen is the most abundant element of the universe, period. And the Egyptians talked about it. And when you study this, you can see it in chemistry, you can see it in biology, you can see it in physics, theoretical physics, quantum physics, whatever state of science, ecology, you know what I'm saying, geology, you know, dealing with plate tectonics. The Neteru Geb itself is based off geology. Geo means earth, ology means study of. You know what I'm saying? We had it already mapped out. We had it already mapped out. So we can go there, man. We can go there completely.
Woo-wee. All right. You know what? Let me just take a quick break. I did want to just take a quick break because we got some brothers that's trying to call in right now. So let's just take that quick break. I'm going to play something in the background if you can hear it. And let's get it in. So we've got our brother Issa that's trying to call in right now. Issa, I see you. I'm not too sure if you can hear me right now, but Issa, if you're there, call back in. Okay, you're here. Issa.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam.
How you doing, fam? Yeah, good show, brother. Good to hear what they had to say. I just wanted to ask the brothers from the Amen Ra squad and brother Ngozi. Do they know if there's any African traditions that they believe have got the concept of animal and human evolution as correct or even more correct than the Western theories of evolution?
Ooh-wee. Hey, I think you might have missed out on Assad's presentation, but I'm gonna let my brothers just.
I did see it, but it's from what he showed, it seemed it was slightly different. Like, I think they thought that from what he presented, I think the reptilian came after man. Then I think it was a bird, and then it was a star. I think.
Brother Issa.
Yeah.
I got something for you. This is Brother Ngozi. Brother Asayim Hotep did a good job. The whole purpose of him doing that, it was just based off explaining the change of Africans seeing a connection with amphibians and reptiles and other different groups, which is based off change. But if you want a direct story of mythology that's similar to modern day evolution, study the Hadza, Hadza mythology. Look it up right now. Hadza mythology talks about evolution. They talk about coming from hairy type ape creatures. This is what they talk about. Also, study Yoruba mythology. When Obatala created the world, it said that when Obatala created the world, the first set of people were kind of slow or robust. Then he destroyed it and formulated a new group.
I think the most important thing is that the African really laid the foundation to even think enough, you know what I mean, to go out there on a limb to acknowledge that human beings extend from other living organisms. And I think that is because that is the basis of modern science. And so all you gotta do now, since they laid the groundwork, is to keep working on it, and there you have it. So, you know, we don't even say, I mean, modern science. I mean, shit, it's really African spirituality.
But okay, so here's the problem with that statement. It's kind of like saying that we've been around doing our thing, building pyramids, cities, civilization, empires for, you know, thousands of years. And then, you know, the Caucasian comes within, what, 200-300 years now, from what Ankh seems to be saying, like he's more or less perfected this thing. So we laid the foundation, but it took the cracker to come along to perfect these things, allegedly.
No, he hasn't perfected it. It's called science. Science does not mean perfection. Science means it's falsifiable and a whole lot of goddamn room for learning more. And since we practice science in Africa, then it would have had to been a whole lot of room for growth. And so you just see the growth. That's all I'm saying, brother.
No. What I'm saying is
I
that
heard you.
if you have a group of people who have been across the whole planet, and over, let's say, 10,000 years, that group of people didn't seem, if some people believe, didn't get it right, and then another group of people carrying on what the ancients were doing, it took them less than 200 years, then it gives the impression that, look, you know, these lot been doing that for how many, 10, 15,000 years. These lot come along, 200-300 years, bang. You know what I mean? They get it correct. It doesn't seem to sound too authentic and supporting of what our ancients really were about.
So let me ask you this then. The Egyptians built the pyramids, right?
Yep.
Right. The Europeans built skyscrapers that are taller than the pyramids, yo. But
Yep.
they based it off of the building of the pyramids. And who the Egyptians based it off of? They based it off of mounds, right? And I'm talking about like ant mounds and termite mounds. And so it's not a problem though. See, science doesn't worry about that. I promise you, yo, science is not based off of who getting it right, got it right. It's an ongoing experiment. And that's science. I mean, you know, come on, man. Like, I tell you what, our children always are smarter based off the things that we have done. So they don't have to make the same mistakes. We started from ground zero, the African did. So imagine, yo, imagine starting from ground zero and then coming in. They don't have to stay. Listen, the math and the science is already in place. All they got to do is crack the language, learn it, and then build on that foundation so they can speed shit up immensely. They don't have to. We started from nothing. Listen, let me show you something. Let me show you what we started from, yo. This is easy work right here, yo. It's easy to tell you what we started from, yo. Look. It ain't even complicated on what we started from, yo. Let me show you what we started from. Hold on. Let me get right to it. Let me show you this real quick. And you can pretty much see what the hell we started from. Let me get it in. I'm gonna show you what we started from, yo. And Europeans didn't stop from that point. Not at fucking all. Oh, excuse my language.
Whilst my brother is showing us that, I want to let everybody know, if you're loving the information so far that my brother Ngozi and my brother Uncle Kek has been dropping so far, please give us a big thumbs up. Give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you're loving this information. You know, it's kind of funny as I'm saying that. I'm just picturing my little son's head, and he's always like this, just sitting there giving me a thumbs up. So just give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you're loving the information. Also, comment down below. Let us know exactly what you're liking, what you're disliking as well, and you know, your questions or your comments on the whole situation. So please let me know.
All right.
Back to you.
Here you go, Kalam. You see that, right?
Yeah, I see that.
That's the Permian. Listen, these are termites, and the termites go all the way back to the Permian period, right? 298.9 million years ago. So the African had to start from this. The European didn't have to start from daggone termite mounds. We had to start from watching termite mounds. The termite mounds are in mud. Then you get this. This is a mastaba. Look how big the mastaba is in Africa, right? Here's another mastaba, but this is in stone now, right? Here's the largest mud-struck, oldest mud building in the world in Africa, Nubia. Look, okay. So we get that from the termite mounds, and eventually here's that building again. Look at that. That's mud. That's still standing. Look at that. Then you get this from the mastabas. Then you get the step pyramid, 4,700 years ago. All coming from the what? The termite mound. Here you go. You got hotels, all that, but all this is coming from the Great Pyramids. They don't get your skyscrapers, right? So of course they can build skyscrapers because the African did the groundwork. They did the groundbreaking work. Here again, watching the ants. What is this? They making a bridge across water. Foundation, Africa. They're later on to get this. So that's the point I'm trying to make here. Anything you show, tools. Look, he's fishing. He's fishing, right? Here you go. Humans, mimic. It's called biomimicry. Now we're fishing. So, I mean, it's not even hard to figure that out, yo. Europeans, you know what I'm saying, they're simply rediscovering what the Africans have done. It's not a fact of being better. They're rediscovering it. They're looking at their mothers and fathers, yo, and they're faking you out. Oh, we hate them, we hate them, we hate them. But secretly, they're studying you. They're doing everything that you did. You studied nature. They're doing it. So now they become the most spiritual on the planet based off of natural world. They observe the natural world to do everything. They figured it out. And we sitting back saying, no, we don't want to do that. We're stuck talking about what the ancients did. No, we have to progress because they're showing true on what the ancients did. I mean, come on, dog. We the foundation, yo. And it is what it is, yo. So what? They build skyscrapers now at 1,000 feet in the air. So what? But they couldn't have did it without who? Those termites.
I think the point.
Hold on, my brother Issa, real quickly. I'm about to just take a real quick break. And let me just quickly say before I take that break, Black African power. Damn. Okay, so let me just quickly take that quick break and.
I'm the man that was never was, man that was never am. You the man that was never was, man that'll never last. I'm the one that'll keep you on the light when it's time is dark. The black guy waiting to attack as soon as the queen says march. I'm the reincarnation and the resurrection of a star. You the reincarnation and the resurrection of a star. My life is priceless, my life is righteous cause has once again made my life just like it was. I'm the one that requests the moment of silence. You provided us with a voice when they wanted us silent. I am next to Gab, I am next to Newt, I am Net Heru. You are next to me, I am next to God, we are next to you. About to twist one up there like they're getting hella faded. Sitting in the back of the car with me like it's your birthday and we about to celebrate it. One in the back, having the vision of a black queen. The 2015 Martin Luther King saying I have a black dream.
All right. I had to play that, man. I've been listening to this track like all week long, and we're gonna get this brother on who's actually.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
Who's saying that? Who's saying that they like it?
Shesman.
Brother Patah.
Shesmu Patah. That's what I'm saying, man. Let's bring some culture in. So you know what? If you haven't already subscribed to the Titans TV channel, hit the subscribe button down below. We've got music on the channel. You know what? We realize that our people are very soulful, very conscious people, and we just don't only read books. We like to express ourselves, and we like to express ourselves through music as well. So you can kind of check out all of the spoken word artists that we've actually had on featured in our spoken word playlist. So hit up on the playlist. We've got a Talk with the Titans playlist. We've also got a spoken word playlist, and we've actually just started now a Speaker's Corner playlist. But if you hit up the spoken word playlist, you can see we have a Egyptian sister from Egypt, who's actually giving us some great lyrics. We've also got somebody from Somalia, brother from Somalia, Elmi Simba, hitting us up with some conscious lyrics as well. And we've also got our Ghanaian brother, Spectre MC, hitting us up with some boom blast, something to get us kind of hyped. But the track that you just listened to is by a brother called Sick, the Black Falcon. Okay, so just check that tune out. I'm actually gonna have it featured on our spoken word playlist coming up soon. Also, if you haven't already subscribed and started viewing the other playlists, we've actually got a Speaker's Corner playlist. You've actually might have seen me up there on Speaker's Corner and getting involved with the debates. Usually I'm actually, sitting back, observing, and being on the fence, as some people would say. But you'll see me there in action as well. So if you want to see more of my personal works, hit up that playlist, and you can also hit up the Titans playlist to see me giving a breakdown of the 42 laws of Ma'at. All right, you know what? So let's jump straight back into this. So Issa, the floor is all yours. Go ahead.
Sure, Crum, bro. Yeah, brother Ankh, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you gave the comparison with the skyscraper and the buildings, the pyramids, and there's thermite buildings. Whatever we produced, let's say in, for the first 1,000 years, 2,000 years, the generation that came after them had those ancestors to learn from before the European came amongst us. So again, it still gives the impression that the European is the cream of the crop. And even the way that their evolution theory is presented along with their history, it still gives that impression. And I think this is what a lot of people have an issue with, that when you're presenting, let's say, evolution, that's where they're coming from. Whereas obviously when you present history, you're saying, well, we're the first to lay the foundations. But when you go to the Caucasian history books, they're not putting that. They're putting us in grass skirts, bow and arrows, spears. That's it. They don't associate us with pyramids. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's another thing that people are kind of trying to say, well, this is where you all are following Western white science.
No, they hating. Stop hating on people, yo. First of all, I doubt very seriously if skyscrapers will be around for 3,000 years, the same one still standing. So, yeah, I'm saying it ain't like they were superior built. Europeans are superior builders, dude. Think about what I'm saying. All right? Earthquake come through, yo, the shit be falling. I mean, excuse my language. But I'm just making my point, yo. Science is science, man. But the African, got it right. They gave a heck of a foundation, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They gave a heck of a foundation for people to, but they left it. They left it for their children, man, to continue civilizations. I mean, it is what it is. And then everything. Then if you look at European history and look at it closely, you'll see that the African, right, makes a lot of scientific inventions across the board. I mean, it's not. That's why I hate the European science deal. You feel me? That's why I hate that, because then you're saying that they're look at all the African scientists, all the African biologists, architects, mathematicians. I mean, come on, man. God, I mean, goodness gracious, dude. I mean, stop. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the African has been a part of the scientific community since its invention. That's what Brother Unc and the Amaral Squad is saying. Yeah. And it's crazy to separate them from that.
I totally agree, but here's my point. For instance, from the perspective of a knowledgeable Muslim, and let's say one that deals with the Quran as the Quran teaches, they wouldn't need, for instance, to reference a European at all and what they found or whatever. They would be able to explain, let's say, for instance, evolution or the principles of evolution directly from the Quran. And I'm saying, likewise, when somebody's coming from, let's say, the African tradition, this is why I asked, do you all believe that there's an African tradition that teaches evolution that is either as accurate or more accurate than the Western theories, so that you could just abandon, even mentioning Darwin or whoever else, and just say, look, this is what we have said from ancient times. This is where we're rolling. Do you get my point? Where we don't even have to mention anything they found, because to me, these bones, Lucy and whatnot, I mean, over the time period, you can't really say that you finding a sketch of bones suggest any kind of link to, some stepping stone of evolution.
You said what? You said what?
I'm saying that finding, let's say, the bones of Lucy, for instance,
yes,
in any real science, that would not show any, that would not have any weight in relation to showing, oh, this is a link between the evolution of human beings from a certain primate. Just finding one set of bones. Do you get me?
Yeah, because during Darwin time, they didn't have no fossils, remember?
No, I know, but I'm saying of the alleged human from the humans coming from primates.
That's not alleged, though. That's not alleged. No, not at all.
No. Hear what I'm saying. I'm saying that we don't need to use, if you already have your teaching from an African tradition, as you'll say African, right? I'm saying, therefore, there's no need to even reference the Caucasian perspectives, opinions, theories, or ideas.
Why do you say Caucasian?
Because it's their framework and it's their mentality. We never expressed ourselves the way that they do. So if we're going to be saying, like, if we're going to be saying Black African power, for instance, and we're going to be talking about getting back to our traditions, then surely we must be going back to their viewpoint, their paradigm, the way that they saw the world and they expressed their science.
No, that's not what the ancestors were saying. The ancestors were saying if somebody got better science, then you go deal with it. They wasn't saying, yo, it's all about our tradition at all times. It's not the truth, because things get out of date, and you have to be willing to change. That is the #1 lesson in evolution. That just because they're white and they got some things that was better than what you had, if we study history, the Egyptians lost because they lost in science. The great Chancellor Williams talks about the Assyrians coming in, right? And they got better swords based off of iron swords, right? But we know the African meteorite, right, is the metal that you get iron from, was smoking that at 40,000 years in Swaziland. So how is it that you let a little old Syrian come in, right, who hasn't even been smoking on as long as you, and have a better sword? Because they use the technology based off of watching the African. And so just because it's science, it's not a thing, it's from Mother Nature. And everyone has the ability to use it. That's what we got to recognize, bro. Science is a universal thing. Mother Nature make it rain on everything. It just doesn't stop raining because it's in Saudi Arabia or it's in some European place. I mean, that's the reality of it. The ants don't stop rolling. I'm gonna stop going on and wiping over there. I ain't gonna go over there. I mean, come on, dude. At some point, you got to realize that we lost because the science and technology.
No, listen.
Hold on, real quickly.
You're not responding to what I'm saying now, brother.
Hold on, Isa. All right. I'm gonna open up the I'm gonna open up the floor, open up the platform, open up everybody's mics to actually jump in and have a go into the conversation, because we've literally reached the latter half of the show, where we open it up for our panel members to have a discussion. Later on, when we have an off-air section where if you are in right now or you call in later on, you'll be able to have some debates back and forth with some of the members that are on here. But for now, I'm going to open up for the discussion. So I'm going to open up first of all to my brother Shezmu Patar. Brother Shezmu Patar, I know you want to get in and actually have your say. So while we're still live, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Kalam. Yeah, Issa has put something on the table, and I think it is crucial. But I want to add to what Brother Unc was alluding to. So you have to understand that we have been on the planet for a very long time, Homo sapiens sapien man. And Brother Unc had showed you the development of the African. But then Issa puts on the table that the Caucasian, let me use his words, the cracker is the cream of the crop or something, he said, like the cream of the, the froth of the coffee or whatever. But you got to understand that this Caucasian is a new being. He's only been on the planet ruling or invading for the last, I would give him 2,500 years. Some say less. We were running things for hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of years. So to say the cream of the crop, we're just going through a phase right now. Think about what the cracker or the Caucasian man was going through while we were running the show for all that length of time. What were their thought process? And we're going through the same thing right now. And then on top of that, he's a minority. Even though he's in control because he had the weapons and he used technology and science that he learned from us, he's still a minority. And the planet, the nature is fighting against him. And he fights against nature. So you got to understand that things are going to change. Things are going to evolve. We talked about evolution. Things will evolve and change. That's what I was going to say on that.
Okay, thank you, my brother Shezmu Patar. All right, so we've got We've got a few members who've just joined us as well. We've got a sister by the name of Courtney Rich. Courtney, I know you've been listening in. If you've got anything to say as well, please go ahead and have your say.
Peace, everyone. Actually, no, I really don't, because I just caught the end of the hangout, so I don't want to ask any questions without having viewed everything that happened on. But thank you for including me.
Good stuff. All right, no problem. Okay. So yeah, let's go in, man. Let's go in. So I want to know actually, Polite. What was Polite section actually saying? Because usually Polite comes with a banger. He comes with some hard-hitting information, some fireworks. What was his presentation actually saying?
I don't know.
Polite was straddling the fence.
I'm still trying to figure that out. It was over 2 hours long, and I'm on my second viewing of it, taking notes to just try and really find out what the heck he was saying.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, he was trying to say that the Egyptians was trying to escape this world, trying to escape death, trying to break the ionosphere or something like that, yo. Yeah, that's what he was making. No, that's what he was trying. He was trying to say the Egyptians had figured out, right, and to do what on how to break the out. Man, look.
So is he pseudo out? Yeah.
Huh?
Is Polite in the pseudo team now, according to you?
According to me, you know what? I'm gonna let this presentation speak on that.
All right, no comment all the way. All right, so you know what? We've got chances to have the last 5 minutes of discussions on the show. So if you've got anything that you would like to say, say it now, man.
Yes.
I would like to say, why the hell is everybody running and hiding? Have you noticed that, Kalam? Have you noticed that, Kalam? They did the same thing at the conference. You know what we should do? We should just fess up. You know what? You know, we couldn't overturn modern science in one lecture. They should just say it. And then admit, hold on, man. They have to admit that modern science ain't got that much to do with white people. They just put it in a language. It's just in a language. You feel me? That's it. But the actual scientific method and experimentation and all that, man, that's so African. You know what I'm saying? They just put it, they did what they were supposed to do, Kalam. You do what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put things in your cultural perspective. That's all the European did. The European put it in that cultural perspective. That's it. And we can strip that off and say, nah. We know where it's at. No. But they did what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put it through your cultural strainer. And so I'll come to this point. Watch this. And here's a very important point right here, right? We'll talk about Charles Darwin and all that. Watch this. Let me show you. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Right? Let me show you real quick. It's very easy. And show you how they do what they do. They just rediscovering stuff. They ain't coming up with the brand new shit like you. Excuse me. They're not coming with a brand new thing like you think they are. Here you go right here. Now, this was I didn't even get this in the presentation. Yeah, I did. And it was 5 misconceptions. And here's the 5th one. The Africans never understood evolution like modern science does, right? Do y'all know what this is a picture of?
Beer making.
That's right, but not just any old beer.
African beer.
It's more than that. It's medicine. Watch this. Brief communication, mass spectroscopic characterization of tetracycline and skeleton remains of the ancient population from Sudanese Nubia, 350 to 550 CE. And it's in the Journal of Physical Anthropology, the official journal of the American Association of Physical Anthropology. So this is white people. Oh, this is the scientific community, right, looking at Africa. Look, here you go again at PubMed, the National Library of Medicine, National Institute of Health. See, historical evidence of tetracycline used has been reported in the ancient X group population, right, in Sudanese Nubia. What am I talking about here? You go to Emory University. This is Ancient Brewers Tap Antibiotic Secrets. Oh, okay. So now we see that back in Sudan, they already got antibiotics. But most people today think that antibiotics was put together. Watch this. Researcher Mark Nelson. He's a medical chemist, right? With Paraket Pharmaceuticals. He works for the pharmaceutical company. What did he say? He said the bones of these ancient people were saturated with tetracycline, showing that they had been taking it for a long time. He says, I'm convinced, right now, he works for the pharmaceutical company, right? I'm convinced that they had science of fermentation under control and were purposefully producing the drug. So he admits that they're producing the drug. So we look at Fleming, Alexander Fleming, and penicillin and antibiotics. The accidental discovery. So they accidentally discovered it. Fleming, he's credited with penicillin, but he just rediscovered it. That's my whole point. So we can't say they even got it better. That's the point I want to make right there.
Hey, brother, I guess that's why they put cocaine in the Coke, in the Coca-Cola. Still copying. And you said something else that was very crucial.
Mm-hmm.
You said that the African. No, I'm gonna hold off on that. Somebody else go ahead and go. I'm gonna hold off on that.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
For the evolutionists, right? So the
I'm a Kepler.
Kepler, excuse me. So the concept so far seems to be about a progressive succession of what preceded it. You know, we have like the Anthropolithecus, or Australopithecus, Neanderthal, Homo sapien. Each succession has gotten more advanced, or better with things, or however you want to put it. So if we, being the original man, here first, and then white people come from us or after us, they would have evolved from us. Would that then, following in the succession, would that then make them a more advanced version of us?
No, because that's not what evolution shows. Let me show you exactly. That's not evolution what you just spoke of. Let me show you what evolution is right here. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you exactly what this chart right here. Kind of explain that. That's where everybody get it wrong. And that's an excellent question. Evolution does not have a direction. Right? Mutations can be harmful. People have mutations that have extra fingers. You feel me? Right. As a matter of fact, pale skin in the Sahara will kill you. That's why you have quote unquote albinos, right? They die from their pale skin. You feel me? But watch this real quick. Let me show you this right here. This is the human family, millions of years. East Asia, South. And if you look down here, right, you'll see Homo ergaster, Homo gogensis, Homo antecessor. This is showing that actually interbreeding right here. Homo habiligensis. Look, Homo neanderthalis. Look at the tree. Homo erectus. They're really mixing. So by the time you get to Homo sapien is just a mixed hodgepodge of all of these. See, this right here is 2 million years right here. And here's the rule. If you have a common ancestor that goes back 2 million years, you can mix. So humans could mix. Modern humans, Homo sapiens sapien, was actually had the ability to mix with Neanderthal, Homo habiligensis, Homo antecessor, Homo. See, they could mix. They was basically mixing. So the family tree ain't as straightforward as everybody was led to believe, and it never was that. It never was a straight line, because that's not evolution. That creationists use that. They try to act like, well, in our community we say that, well, since they're the last one, aren't they the most perfected? No, as a matter of fact, they're the most sickly amongst the human race based off of their pale skin. I did a whole video on that. They're not. No, they're actually more sickly. Remember, the majority of the planet gets sun, right? The northern regions are the polar areas. Okay, so if you're adapted to the polar areas, but the whole rest of the world is going on under the sun, when you come up out of them areas, you had a distinct disadvantage. That's why science is so important, because they use science to bridge the gap. Now they got AC, right? They got cars, right? They got all these things to protect them from the sun. Sunscreen, and that's not really working. They still have the highest rates of cancer amongst anybody. They still have the most low rate of birth based off of the UVA rays attacking the folic acid in the blood, which causes neural tube disorders based off of their pale skin. So really, you don't even want to be white, according to modern science. And as a matter of fact, checkmate piece, I'm going to come to the Journal of Science, and I'm going to tell you what the Journal of Science says about white people. Let's see. Let's see if they're really the most evolved and have the most everything. Let's see. I'm going to bring this right here. Let me do this real quick, because most people don't even bring this up.
You haven't
dropping that
answered the question, though,
science.
bro. It's good what you're saying, but you haven't answered the question, though.
I did. I said evolution is not in one direction. I said it
No, I know.
exactly. And I
No.
clearly answered the question. They're not the most evolved because there's no such thing as the most evolved. And I'm going to show you this right here. Hold on. Watch this. Let me show you what
Hold on, Unc, before you show him it, let's hold this out for the second part of the show.
All right.
No,
Okay.
Only for the people who are in now, and the link that I'm going to send out later on. So if you want to hear more of this information and see more of the information that's going on right now, please just subscribe right now and hit me up on the Google Plus, or hit me up on the Talk with the Titans Facebook page, and I will give you the link to join us. But right about now, we have to close. So you've been watching Talk with the Titans, and I've been your host, Kalam L, and we're signing out right now. Peace. Okay, so Unc, do you want to continue?
Damn.
Right here. Here you go. The Journal Nation, International Weekly Journal of Science. It say right here, purportedly more deleterious genetic variations in European than in the African population. If you read the whole article, it goes on to